The H-2B Playbook, Episode 1 of 8. The Seasonal Staffing Gap, Why American Businesses Lose Money Every Peak Season. Every summer, thousands of U.S. businesses run short-staffed, not because they didn't try to hire, because the workers weren't there. You planned the season, you posted the jobs, you maybe even raised the pay, and still, you came up short. If you run a landscaping company, a resort, a crab house, a construction crew, or any business that spikes during a specific time of year, you already know what that feels like. Scrambling in your busiest weeks, turning down contracts, burning out the people you do have. Here's what most business owners don't know. There's a federal program built specifically for this problem. It's called the H-2B visa, and for the right business, it can change everything about how you staff your peak season. This is episode 1 of the H-2B Playbook. 8 episodes, 0 fluff. By the end of this series, you'll know this program better than most attorneys charge you to explain it. Let's start from the beginning. What is the H-2B visa? The H-2B visa is a U.S. federal program that allows American employers to bring in foreign nationals for temporary, non-agricultural work. Key word, temporary. This is not a green card program. It's not a path to permanent residency. It is a legal, government-regulated way to fill short-term workforce gaps with international labor when you can't find enough qualified U.S. workers to do the job. The program is managed by 3 federal agencies. The Department of Labor. They certify that your need is real and that you tried to hire domestically first. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. They approve the actual visa petition. And the Department of State. They handle the consular side when workers go to get their visas stamped. 3 agencies, 1 goal. Get you the workers you need, legally, with oversight built in. DOL to USCIS to DOS to workers arrive. Now, a lot of business owners hear federal program and immediately think complicated, slow, expensive. And look, it's not a walk in the park, but neither is going into your peak season 40% understaffed. We'll get into costs in episodes 4 and 5. For now, just understand the foundation. Who is this program for? The H-2B program was designed for businesses with a temporary or seasonal need. There are 4 categories of need that the government recognizes. 1. Seasonal. Your business naturally peaks at a certain time of year. Summer resorts, beach clubs, outdoor event companies, winter ski resorts, holiday retail operations, snow removal crews, Christmas tree farms, hurricane cleanup crews. If your industry has a season, summer, winter, or anything in between, you likely qualify under this category. 2. Peak load. This is a little different. Your business runs year-round, but you hit a temporary spike, a big contract, a major event, a construction project with a deadline. You need more hands for a defined period, not permanently. 3. Intermittent. You don't need workers full-time, but periodically throughout the year, you have short bursts of need that domestic hiring can't keep up with. 4. One-time occurrence. Something happened. A natural disaster. A once-in-a-decade renovation. A situation you couldn't have predicted. You need temporary help that goes beyond what you can staff locally. Most of the employers using H-2B fall into seasonal or peak load. Landscaping companies, hospitality groups, seafood processors, ski resorts, theme parks, golf courses, and more. These are the industries that have built entire workforce strategies around this program. Over 66,000 H-2B workers were authorized in fiscal year 2023. And to be clear, this is not a loophole. It is not under the table. These are documented, legal, tax-paying workers entering the country on a federal visa with full government oversight. How long can they stay? Here's where it gets useful from a planning standpoint. A single H-2B worker can be authorized for up to 10 months in a given visa approval. That's your seasonal window. Whether you need them May through October or January through September, the program is flexible enough to match your actual operational calendar. Now here's something a lot of employers don't know about H-2B workers. An H-2B worker can remain in the United States for a cumulative total of 3 years. During that time, they can work across multiple employers, multiple seasons, multiple industries, as long as each position is a legitimate H-2B role. They might work your landscaping season, April through October, then pick up a winter position at a ski resort in Colorado, then come back to you next spring. Same worker, different employers, all legal. That's not a small thing. Recruitment is expensive. Training is expensive. Turnover is expensive. The ability to bring back a worker who already knows your operation, your standards, your pace, that cuts your costs significantly every season they return. Returning workers equals lower recruitment cost plus faster onboarding. After 3 cumulative years inside the United States, a worker must spend time outside the U.S. before re-entering on H-2B status. But the key takeaway here is this: there is no limit on how many times a worker can come back to you season after season, as long as their total U.S. stay hasn't hit that 3-year mark. We'll get into how that plays out in practice in episode 3 when we cover the recruitment process. The cap, the supplemental cap, and why timing is everything. Here's the part that most business owners learn the hard way. Congress set a cap on H-2B visas at $66,000 per fiscal year. That's split into 2 halves. First half, 33,000 visas for workers with a start date between October 1st and March 31st. This is your winter and early spring season window. Think ski resorts, holiday operations, winter construction. Second half, 33,000 visas for workers with a start date between April 1st and September 30th. This is your summer season window: landscaping, hospitality, beach resorts, outdoor events. And those caps fill up fast. In recent years, the cap has been hit within days of the filing window opening. Days! If you're late, you don't get a visa number. Your workers can't come. Your season is compromised. This is why preparation is not optional with H-2B. The employers who win with this program are the ones who start the process months in advance, not the ones who call an attorney in March hoping to have workers by Memorial Day. Now, because demand has consistently exceeded that 66,000 cap, Congress has in recent years authorized what's called a supplemental cap. This is additional visa numbers released by the Department of Homeland Security on top of the regular 66,000. Each year, DHS determines how many supplemental visas to release and who is eligible. It can include returning workers who have been approved in a prior year, new workers who have never participated in the program, or a combination of both. It varies year to year. The supplemental cap is not guaranteed, but when it's released, it gives employers a second opportunity to secure workers if the regular cap filled before they got in. We will break down the full timeline, filing windows, and exactly when you need to have everything ready in episode 2. But the short version? If you're thinking about H-2B for next season, the time to start thinking is right now, not 2 months before you need people on site. Is this legal? Let's be direct. Every so often, someone hears about H-2B, and their first question is this really above board? Yes, this is a federal program with decades of precedent. Major American companies across hospitality, landscaping, seafood, and construction have built their seasonal operations around it. The workers arrive legally. They're documented. They pay taxes. They're protected by U.S. labor law, including prevailing wage requirements, meaning you can't use H-2B to undercut your domestic workforce's wages. In fact, and this is important, the Department of Labor requires you to prove that you tried to hire American workers first. If you can find qualified U.S. workers, H-2B isn't for you. This program exists for the gap, when the work is real, the need is real, and the domestic labor market genuinely can't fill it. That's not a workaround, that's the design. So here's where you are after episode 1. You know what the H-2B program is. You know which businesses it's built for. You know how long workers can stay, how the cap works, and why timing is the single biggest variable that determines whether you get workers or get left out. What you don't know yet is whether your business actually qualifies. That's episode 2, Qualification and Eligibility. We're going to go through the specific criteria the Department of Labor uses to evaluate your application, the nature of your work, your job classifications, your business history, and the mistakes that get employers denied before they even get started. If you're serious about using H-2B for your next season, Episode 2 is not optional. Hit subscribe. Episode 2 drops May 11th. This is the H-2B Playbook. See you at the next one.